Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dota Summit 7. I'm joined here, as often has been the case, by PPD, Jack, of course, who you all know, and a fresh face, we have Yao from LGD. Thanks for joining us, Yao.
Hello, I'm Yao from LGD.
Welcome to the couch. How is your Summit 7?
就是你到此的，就是 TS 的巅峰联赛的体验如何？
体验非常不错，然后就整个比赛很轻松，然后也是每个队伍的实力都很强，风格都不一样，然后可以从比赛中学到很多东西。
Been pretty relaxing, and the teams are all pretty good here, and they've all have very different styles and too, so we've been able to learn a lot from them in this tournament.
Yeah, so LGD sitting in the lower bracket finals, waiting for the winner of this match. It'll either be VP or NP. Do you guys? How do you evaluate VP and NP right now? What are your thoughts on those two teams?
就当然你们进入了明天的败者组决赛，那么你们面对对手会是这场的胜者。那么就是你如何评量一下这两支队伍 NP 和 VP？ 你当然好像第一把是跟 NP 对过阵，对吧？
这两支队伍都是我们小组的，然后都打过。然后NP 的话就是比较坚定的打自己的东西，然后他们一些带球啊、抓人会打得比较不错。然后 VP 的话，就是你完全不知道他会这一场用什么体系来打你，就是捉摸不定。
So these teams are both in our group, and for NP, they kind of stick to their own strengths, like in terms of split pushing. They're very good at that. They're very good at getting pickoffs and split pushing. So that's kind of their signature style. And for Virtus.pro, it's a bit harder to say what they're going to do because they kind of decide on like a lineup or strategy they want to use, and you're not really sure what that is coming in, and you'll just have to deal with it when it comes.
Yeah, what do you think of VP's different hero every game? I think they've run 40 unique heroes in 8 matches so far.
就是如何看待 VP？ 就是阵容选的是像你说，就是变化多数，好像已经拿出了40几个英雄了。
他们每一场在这个比赛每一场就是会在前2手基本上会暴露出自己的阵容体系，然后我觉得打这个队，你看又选了 CK， 然后打这个队的话，就根本就不知道他们会玩啥，然后只用选好自己的阵容，然后注意自己的阵容框架。
So like you said, the pick versatility, but they'll often kind of reveal what's going on in the first 2 picks, but then you have to figure out what's coming and then make sure that you can stabilize in your own draft to deal with it.
Something fresh here again, Peter. We've got the Chaos Knight opening.
Yeah.
Classic.
My take on the whole thing is I think VP is confident. Confident or just almost like ignorant enough. I think they think they're just better than every other team, so they can kind of pick whatever they want and still find a way to win the game. Also, like it's almost a challenge to yourself. They're probably expanding their hero pool and learning a bunch of new strategies on their own. Do you think that, this is a question for Yao, do you think that you're going to let VP get away with picking crazy heroes against you guys?
就是他说 VP 好像就是很自信，就是他觉得随便拿出什么阵容都是有的打也可以自己去摸测去学一点。那么你要是明天你们面对的对手是 VP， 你觉得你们会不会就是惩罚他们有这样的心态，就是好像随便来拿什么阵容，你会对惩罚他们吗？
我想就是我们也有自己非常自信的体系吧。然后VP 这个队的话，他基本上在搬人上面，在前2手不会给对方造成很大的麻烦，然后主要是注重自己的阵容搭配。然后我觉得是拼双方的硬实力吧。
Yeah, we have our own strategies and stuff in mind too, but it also feels like in terms of the early draft or ban phase, VP doesn't cause too many problems for the other team in terms of taking away maybe what they want, but more of keeping things. 就是你是说，就是给他们班人一开始是给自己的要打的体系搬，而不是去针对别人的英雄，是这个意思吗？ So they'll be banning stuff that would get in the way of running their own lineup and their own combination instead of specifically targeting your heroes. That's just what he thinks of.
There is no meta for VP, basically.
就是说他不是看重这些版本哪些英雄厉害去办，或者你站队，而是完全是靠他自己的阵容为组合的想法。你是这个意思吗？
对，而且他一般的队伍会在3、4手或者4、5手去出自己的双大哥或者是说体系的核心英雄，然后他就是非常直接，在前2手就出。对。
Like often, you'll see teams save their core picks, or especially mid to later in the draft. But Virtus.pro have been unflinching about taking that early on. Then a couple games ago, they picked that sniper second. They've got the CK now as well, and that is maybe less common of a draft philosophy.
Sure. Okay, so I'm curious about what your thoughts are maybe on NP. Do you think they have a chance against VP in this series? Would you be afraid of playing NP?
你觉得 NP 打 VP 怎么看？就是你觉得，当然他们已经落后一局了，不过他们有没有觉得能不能翻回局势？然后你个人来说怎么看？就是对打 NP 时的心态？
我觉得 NP 的实力也还就挺不错的，然后他们还是有机会翻的吧。然后打 NP 的话，我觉得主要是在对线期保证自己的英雄的发育情况下，中期然后能够很好的形成压制，不让他们带起球，然后组织好有效的 gank。然后就是，我觉得这是我们会去打 NP 去思考的东西。然后，如果一旦陷入 NP 的那种带球啊、抓人啊，然后疯狂的推线，你去处理线的时候，你已经陷入了一个要输的局面了。
I think NP has a pretty good chance against Virtus.pro. I think what's important on NP is having an advantage coming out of lanes that they feel less confident in starting their split pushing. If you get sucked into their playstyle, if you create a game state where they can kind of freely dictate things with split pushing and with ganking, then it becomes very difficult. So you want to focus on maybe shutting them down in lanes and preventing that from happening.
Does he feel like this is a good draft to do that, what they've picked so far?
那你觉得他们现在选出来的阵容目前是有这个作用吗？
首先大树是 NP 的一个非常核心的体系英雄吧。然后 NP 这支队伍的话，他在对线期其实给予对方的压力相对来说还是比较少的。他会更注重的是自己的英雄的发育情况，然后发育到中期，然后他的阵容就会像小强、大树这些憋服会配上，就是有很强的抓人能力。然后其他的像大哥和就是1号位和2号位会具有很强的推线能力，然后辅助这些抓单能力的，然后这些隐身系的英雄，然后但是这一把的话，感觉他们选的这个阵容有一些跟平时不太一样，这一把有点刚正面，大树、凤凰、Park， 然后都是一些团控英雄，可能他们想改变打法来面对 VP 这一局。
So in terms of lane philosophy, it seems that NP's cores usually have the ability to push well and like move the lanes and apply lane pressure pretty well. If they don't have like the best lane pressure themselves as heroes in terms of say kill potential and stuff, they usually tend to focus on their own their own farming and just getting their core items up. If the supports are there, like they usually provide some kind of gank or kill potential, but not necessarily the core laners themselves. They want to focus on farming and being able to push the lanes out. But this game, as far as the draft they have so far, it seems to be a little bit different from their usual playstyle. Their heroes have better like actual team fight ability, actual like frontal fighting ability, which maybe goes a little bit differently from how they usually draft. And he believes that that's how they're decided to deal with VP in this case.
Cool. I guess this is more like of a don't oftentimes get to sit down on the couch with Yao, so I guess it's kind of like a personal question. When I think of you and Yao, I always think of maybe like Zhao, like you're almost kind of you're like you and him were like a duo for a long time, and now you're leading LGD as the captain and kind of this leader. What is it like kind of stepping out on your own and really kind of forcing the direction of your team as a captain?
就是当然你一直跟小八就是好像打了多年，然后也很熟悉，然后这次就是你也当为老干爹的队长，小八不再跟你们打，那就是感觉你自己领导这个队就是有什么感受？也没小八在。
首先，我的角色包括我打的位置是一个全新的位置，然后会更加注重团队战术和就是整体方面的一些布置吧，然后也是一个新的体验。没有了小巴，然后确实压力挺大，但是我的队友都挺信任彼此的，然后我们的教练，然后对我的帮助也挺大的357，然后就是目前为止的话，这也是我们第一次出国来的。就是这种第一次出国来打比赛，然后感觉就是之前一段时间的备战效果还可以，然后在比赛中也碰到了一些就是我们说要比赛，然后也确实是因为阵容方面有一些原因，然后我们也及时总结了，然后之后的比赛我感觉会就是打得更好。
So it's a new experience for me. I take a lot of confidence myself, from the teammates and the supporting me, and then from our coach as well, 357. He's been around the scene for a long time, obviously with eHome, and then VG's coach. So we take a lot from that. Like, my function in the team is to kind of put the big picture together in terms of lineups, in terms of drafting. So I feel like they've supported me pretty well, and this is our first time with this team playing overseas out of China, and so it's kind of a learning experience. I think from the match that we lost, there's a lot that we can learn from that, and just take that going forward. I expect us to just play better and better.
Sure. Yeah, you guys are having a great first tournament outside of China. What do you think what do you think works with this team?
就是第一次出国，你们还是就是打线上的比赛还是状态挺好的，就是第一、第二把都获胜。那么 you mean like in terms of what's the strengths of their team?
Yeah, like what's going? I mean, they're top 3 at the summit. Now a tournament not outside of China, where China has notoriously kind of struggled, and it's nice to see LGD back on the podium. I'm just curious what is different about this team that Yao is now on that seems to be finding some success.
就是很多国队可能出国时候打比赛比较困难，不过你们这次是稳定肯定进前3了，对吧？那么你们觉得你们队伍自己的一些优势在什么地方？就是与别的一些队伍有什么不同点？国队有什么不同点？
我们有就是属于自己非常自信的体系，然后并且就是在国内训练了很多场，然后来到这边打比赛的话，然后也就是执行力整体而言就是还是维持了老干爹的一贯的风格，然后比较就执行力比较高，然后能够发挥出我们阵容和体系的特长，然后就是只是说在处理优势和劣势的这些细节方面确实还不够成熟。
We have lineups that we're very used to playing in China, and we have a lot of confidence in those. And then, just bringing that out here, being able to play that well, I think we have the confidence to stick to those things when we play here. And then beyond that, there's still some details in terms of what to do when you're ahead, what to do when you're behind that we can work on and improve on.
That's awesome news. So we're about to get into the game here. We have one final pick for Virtus.pro. It's going to be Leshrac. It's a mid Leshrac for no one, I would imagine.
Mid AA? No.
No.
Support AA.
Yeah. And then Eternal Envy playing PL, which was actually last picked into Legion Commander, which was a little bit strange for me. But what do you guys think about the draft?
怎么看这个阵容后来补的2手英雄？
感觉都是比较冷门的英雄，猴子和 TS。然后整体而言的话，猴子是特别喜欢玩的幻象系类型的英雄，然后而且他这个阵容，他的其他英雄就是团控能力很强，然后配合一个猴子能够撕裂战场，然后包括一个很好的处理兵线嘛。但是这边最后补的 TS AOE 很足，能够很好的有效的对抗这个猴子。对，最后这2手。
So Core Leshrac and Phantom Lancer maybe not seen as much recently as other heroes, but I think for Envy, this is something that, in terms of illusions, in terms of wave clear, is in his comfort zone. They have a lot of control on NP to allow the Phantom Lancer to kind of stand his ground and fight and make illusions. On the other hand, the Core Leshrac for no one is going to have plenty of AoE to deal with illusions as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure which one I'm really favoring at the moment, but I like the uniqueness and the a little bit of original thought coming into both these drafts.
Is this a full tri-lane CK Rubik AA?
I would imagine at least it could be swapped to. I imagine is Lil playing the Rubik?
Not sure.
Yeah, I think he's on the Rubik.
Yeah, so he might be kind of floating around. He might even end up like dual landing mid. That's kind of where the meta's been at lately. Very, very possible, but we do have a pretty much like one core lineup. In previous games, talked about how Puck can he's kind of moved up in terms of scalability as a core. So Fada, is going to need to have a big impact if he's going to be able to back up Eternal Envy's kind of one core Phantom Lancer draft. Leshrac was kind of like
Disco Valette.
Yeah, this is almost like Leshrac and PL. That was like TI5.
That's true.
Leshrac was almost like a
with
soft
a
counter.
C-deck. CDC.
Yep. So Leshrac was kind of like a soft counter. He just does a lot of AoE, and he can eat through those illusions with his ultimate pretty quickly for Phantom Lancer. So in that way, I like the pick.
Very aggressive invasion play here by VP. They're going to find the puck early, and Fonda is a clean first blood. This team likes to get aggressive.
Got caught sleeping there.
Yeah, he was in good position too, up on the high ground to potentially break that and get away.
核心 TS 就是他们说 TI50好像也见到，然后他们一开始就出现很凶猛。你觉得对线上有哪些关键点？So I ask you, what are some of the keys here for the early laning phase?
TS 这个版本嘛，然后这个版本没有做特别多的研究，然后也是一个可以看一下 No One 的表演嘛。然后但是这一把的话 ，VP 的英雄整体而言线上能力是强于 NP 的，然后但是 NP 的团战就是支撑很足，然后对线期的就是争夺比较厉害吧。然后 TS 打 Park 对线感觉这边对线期就拿到2个人，然后 TS 打 Park 的对线，我感觉 Park 挺好打的 ，Park 现在弹道包括TS 也消耗不了 Park 什么血量，但是主要看拉皮和冰魂的游走。
Says keep an eye out obviously for the movements on Rubik and AA. In terms of laning, Virtus.pro has pretty strong lanes and pretty good combinations, but maybe in terms of overall team fight, NP's got the edge. So we'll have to see how the lanes go. And Puck should have a decent time against Leshrac.
We got a little bit of musical lanes going on here. Envy immediately porting to the bottom lane when he saw the aggro triangle was in his lane, and then Solo has now also joined Ramses, who's actually playing kind of the 3 hero, right?
1号位
we expect Ramses to be playing the CK, right? Am I confused?
Yeah.
2号位 CK。
Pasha playing the 1. VP is not only picking unique heroes, but they're switching up their roles. It's just too easy in game 1.
Well, game 2 looking pretty easy as well. 2 kills already.
Charity kills before the horn.
Well, it wouldn't be a good anime without a real challenge beater.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Haven't seen much.
Are you familiar with like any of like the Western memes about Eternal Envy? Do you guys? I know there's like the joke of Agent 3154.
就是问你，就是伊萨玛的一些国外的梗，因为他当然是可以算是很喜欢漫画了，对吧？然后还有那个315的那个梗，当然你也听说过一些吗？或者知道什么有关他的梗，或者你们自己队内有些什么会说他的？
就是所有的中国粉丝和职业队员都非常喜欢伊桑的嘛，然后因为他在打中国队的时候，就会首先他们队伍的打法就是会有一些跟主流的打法不太一样，会给人很多惊喜。然后他在关键时候的表现，不管是大优的时候，突然面对中国队一波就是葬送好的局面，然后给了中国队一些机会，然后这些中国观众非常的乐意看到。然后还有就是那种他在逆风的时候敢于那种掏身剑啊，然后非常那种带非常深的线给对方压迫，就是不管顺风逆风给的压力都很足，然后一些出装也非常有新鲜感吧，就大家都非常喜欢他
Big trouble here for Solo.
Looks like he was trying to go for that Fonda backstab. That is why Lil dove so far, but they're not going to find the kill.
So Chinese fans obviously like E a lot. He's got a very unique kind of play style of his own. Whether it's giving teams a chance even when they're way ahead. It's always interesting with him. Is either they're way ahead and they'll find some way to make an interesting game, or they'll be behind and he'll do crazy stuff that nobody else will do. Whether it's a rapier or some kind of very unique itemization or build. And so there's like a sense of freshness always when he's playing, and Chinese fans really enjoy that.
Entertaining player.
Yeah, that might be the exact reason why I like him too.
Yeah, it crosses all borders. The Envy.
Dota has no language.
Yeah. So, musical lanes kind of continuing here, but VP, by all accounts, appear to be crushing pretty heavily. They got the first blood. They're up 3-2. They're CSing really well in all of their cores. Envy is struggling a lot in the off lane as this Phantom Lancer, at least for now.
That was a pretty clowny play middle. Like Solo was
That
behind
was
the
a
trees.
very Russian Dota VP
Yeah, he's
play.
just level 2 AA trying to right click down a puck. Oh, MSS is cliffed. No TP in sight. They can't see him because it's nighttime though. That high ground vision only gives you vision of the right side of that cliff, I believe. Maybe not even during night. So they might need a little bit of, they might need a flying courier or something. Or maybe AA can make the trek.
Owie, patented courier snipe. Ooh.
Yeah, it's gotta be like exposed.
He wanted it.
Oh, he's gonna ward.
Maybe he'll get it on the way back.
Look, he's gonna ward
He's
up there.
waiting for that courier. I guess he
Can he
didn't
see?
quite get it.
And
He's
there's
still stalking after it though.
and there's the lane advantage that Yao was talking about.
You can see him though. You can see him. Yeah, he's just messing with him.
Lol. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, action also breaking out. Fada going for the deep dive here. No one did take Pi with him. Will they get the Fada kill? Has the phase shift?
It's gonna be
but
an interesting escape.
Mana.
Solo's out of mana. He's gonna have to.
He's 60 mana short. Goes for the neutral deny.
不死都很难受，
Space.
Wow.
He's better than Skulls.
实在很难受。
不死都很难受。
So MSS just hanging out for a little bit, thinking about his actions, saying, "Why did I go that close to that cliff, knowing there's a Rubik on the other team?" He just wanted to see us some of those hard camp creeps. Thought, hey, I can pick up some extra farm, help my team get back into the game from this, rough laning phase. But
在那上面很后悔的话，也想一想为什么靠那个靠那
Lil
么
is-
近被他取上去。
Lil is now coming back, ready to stop another TP scroll.
20 seconds. Oh dear.
Good
VP
news
做的那
is-
个也好接，
嗯，
他做的那个视野，然后这个牛头这一局都没法玩了。
Yeah, he's talking about the ward, and he's like, "Yeah, that's pretty that's pretty cheeky ward." And this feels like this Earthshaker is not going to be playing Dota for a while.
Yeah, how does Earthshaker get back into this game? What do you think, Yao? What's the
What's the
strategy here? Full movement, five man rotation.
他需要他的至少3个队友一起来拯救他，把这个蜡笔给打走吧。
So he needs at least 3 teammates to show up and shoot this Rubik away.
All right, so he's got a puck here now. Puck's gonna clear the area, make sure it's safe. Oh, they got a glance of him. Looks like he's in the clear. No, AA. Nope, he's gonna get out.
He's gonna get out. Ay, ay, ay.
All right, so thank you, Fada.
Space created. Yeah, VP just crushing the lanes right now. Rubik is ahead of the PL.
VP 是像你说的线上优势很大。
对。
那么 MP 怎么反超呢？这一局？
等待2个辅助凤凰大树双6级吧，但是他们整体阵容对于塔的进攻比较弱，所以他们到了双大招之后，能组织的进攻其实相对来说还是比较少的，就局势相对来说不是很妙。
So they have to wait for Yao says they have to wait for the ults basically on Tree and Phoenix before they can really start to get back into this with some team fights. But even with that situation, they're not the best at taking towers. So even if they win a fight, it's still going to be a little bit hard for them to pull back the advantage.
Absolutely. Do you think they have enough AoE to deal with CK in the late game?
就是到了后期之后，你觉得他们对付 CK 的 AOE？
Oh, Jackie Mao down again.
Trying down.
就他们后期不处理，能不能处理 CK， 处理好 CK 幻象。
Oh,
All kinds of cliff shenanigans this game.
right.
Oh, caramba.
What is going on?
Stay away from the hills, boys. It's not safe up there.
首先他们能不能处理 CK 幻象还是一个未知数，要看这个牛头跟凤凰的经济和等级吧。但是很明显，他自己这个猴子是对方非常轻易就可以处理的，有军团和 TS， 就两边而言，问题更大的还是抛给了他们自己。
Whether they can deal with CK, obviously it'll come down to the levels and the itemization on Earthshaker and perhaps Phoenix and Tree. But as for the other way around, it seems that VP have pretty clear answers for the Phantom Lancer.
Come on!
Wait, ally TP. Yeah, smart.
Oh my god. Ay, caramba.
这个你看到过吧？在国内你看到过这样的局势没有？
有过，以前毛麻鸭就会
no.
经常这样玩。
毛麻鸭是把他们困在上面的。
我跟小巴被毛麻鸭一起举上去过，然后有一次小巴被举上去，喊我过去救他送 TP， 然后他把我也丢上去了。
So he says that he and Xiaowei have suffered together on that same cliff at the hands of MMY. He said that Xiaowei got trapped up there. He went over once to save him. MMY lifted him up there too.
He knows the pain. I don't know if I've ever seen 3 cliffings in one game. That might be a first.
Aoi 2000 gonna escape through the invis of the trees. No detection there for VP. Pretty quiet game, but VP is, I guess it's not that quiet. I don't know why I said that, but they're definitely way ahead. All 3 of their cores at the top of the net worth, always a good sign.
I mean, how worried are you about this PL? He's just
I don't think you're worried at all.
very poor right now.
Yeah, I think that Legion Commander is going to be great for PL from the early to mid game. And oh, Lil's in big trouble here.
Lil trying to be cute around his cliff of doom, but might get caught on the way out. They will punch him down. Still, feels like Lil's had his impact. He forces out the 4-hero, or 3-hero rotation, I should say.
Yep, PL's trying to find a new lane to farm. Probably going to result in VP pushing the safe lane tower at some point.
关键你们的选手和队伍中是怎么看待 VP， 比如个人的有些梗或者就一直听说什么打架民族什么，有些别的梗或者说法吗
？VP 的话。
They go for the living armor deny。
就这次比赛，然后我们都是在这个小别墅 house 里面，然后不管是打路人还是比赛嘛，然后我们也有跟 VP 在一个房间里面打路人过，然后他们就是有些队员就是会非常的情绪化，然后一局路人就会那种大吼大叫，然后非常的就是投入在比赛中，然后我甚至听说。Solo 哥在打我们比赛之前还喝了伏特加，然后上的场的，就
喝了烈酒上场。
对啊，我是听说的啊，就打我们之前。
Solo 吗
？Yeah.
Oh, so well, I asked him a little bit about Virtus.pro and their perception of them and their team, and you know, he says obviously like they've been in the same room at some point during this tournament. They're like always very excited and they're playing pubs like super energetic. And he says he heard that that Solo had a drink or had a swig of some hard liquor before their match.
It just loosens you up. You play with confidence at that point.
Wow.
放松一下，很充满信心，对吧？
Has Yao have you ever partaken before match?
你打比赛之前喝过烈
An
酒
adult beverage?
No.
One in Russia, you know.
Oh,
Apparently one in America too, though. But we'll end up going down here, but they're setting up for the big team fight. Could be a nice turnaround opportunity. The Echo Slip, the egg, the root, everything. Even the coil committed. They get 2. They want this 3rd kill. Smoke gets popped out, and Solo ain't getting out of this one. Adult beverages ain't gonna save you there.
big team fight for MP. Using both. Oh, trying to get a duel here. Dueled the wrong one. Can they put him down though?
He's pretty tanky. Gets that living armor assist. Will stay alive.
There's the 6 that he was talking about, being able to make a play.
Absolutely.
Get a couple core kills.
Yeah, that was perfect. They used both Treant and Phoenix Alt, secured themselves 3 kills in that team fight. And did Puck die or did he? Puck died, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He got the coil off, but he went down.
Yeah, they definitely have really great team fight. That's definitely for sure.
I imagine if you're VP, you want to be picking your fights like right now, ideally, while all those big ults are on cooldown.
Yeah. No, this is a great opportunity to try and initiate some of those blink duels, or take this tier 1 tower that's pretty low.
They have the Ice Blast. Also, it could be like a really good Rubik game as well for Lil, given all the big spells to steal potentially.
看到这 CK 刚才出的是个点金手，而 VP 这一方不仅是对线强，因为他们更偏向一个那种3核的阵容，啊，对面可以说是有点像单核一样这个猴子。那一般来说，在这种局势下，3核打单核的话是有什么想法？怎么看？
其实这一局的话 ，VP 他们的分人其实跟平时不太一样吧。然后这个军团他是1号位玩的，但是他的出装跟英雄定位可能更多的是一个3号位吧。这边又是打团了，但是这边凤凰大树没有大招，所以 VP 还是抓机会抓得很准的。然后但是这个 CK 是9帕萨玩的，然后是3号位，但是他的出装完全是一个大哥出装，对。3核的话，但是 NP 这边的话，他有那个双教友团战支撑，就是大树跟凤凰，他的中后期就是能够提供很好的控制跟输出，所以打中后期其实也是不虚的。
So in terms of kind of more of a tri-core against a single core, like he said, obviously for control purposes, with all the control that NP has, it's maybe not too much of a disadvantage to have just one core later on with NP. But he said VP just now, like utilizing that timing window where NP's ults were down on the tree and Phoenix to get a pretty key kill there on the Phantom Lancer. So pretty good use of that timing as well. And then obviously what you mentioned before, Peter, with this is more of a 3 Legion Commander being played by Ramses, and you saw the Midas coming out just now on the CK, so more of a 1. There's kind of an odd, I guess, using of resources.
Yeah, no, CK's really farmed in. Oh, they're going to try and go here.
Legion Commander locked down and will be picked off. However, looking for this puck.
I only got the phase shift.
Needed the nuke. They do get the Shaker Blink now, so NP, some potential fighting at this tower could be in order.
Yeah, VP is definitely lacking in team fight, so any kind of head-on big engagement might be trouble for them.
No one just being a sneaky feller.
Pilot Eye had nothing to do here. Could ult, but that would be it. Gonna save that to combo with Trina Protector in the next big team fight if they can find it.
Envy is still trying to play catch up here, still relatively poor, and this is not going to help matters. Gets dueled, pulled back into the Phantasm, and a winner for Ramses.
Got some dual damage.
It's a hard PL game.
It's a pretty tough PL game. I was a little surprised that they picked it into LC, but I think that when PL the game goes late enough and he gets enough farm, then he has to, those overwhelming odds aren't too terrifying for him.
这把猴子比较难打吧？像你说很难打，可能后期
And the
肥一点
coil.
装备多一些才好处理。
Ah, going in pretty deep here. Will get pulled
Oh,
back
that
by
was
the
nice.
CK. Fada though gets the kill. He gets out.
That was real nice.
Very well played.
I think he blinked that stun blindly from the maybe lucky. What do you think? Skill?
I mean, Fada's
Yeah, skill or luck on puck?
运气好还是操作好？他那个躲过那个 CK 晕。
应该是操作好，毕竟他是 Fata。
He said it's probably skill. I mean, it's Fada after all.
Oh yes, much respect. Very nice. Very PC answer.
It's okay. You can flame him.
Yeah, I heard Yao was pretty bad mannered. Honestly, that's the rumors that I get.
他说他可能都有，他说他听说的谣言是，你好，你现在很有礼貌，可是一般来说你可能怎么说呢？有的时候也会喷，或者也会怎么说也会没那么礼貌，是吧？
I want to see the
录一下
LGD.
真面给大
I
家。
want to see the LGD true side.
Yeah. No, I heard. Never mind.
他看到那个
keep to
专访
myself.
片，就是那个拍一集
Too far.
那个节目，卫视的节目，他想看到你们的一集，来拍一拍你们，看你们是怎么样。
我也很期待。
Action bottom.
Big echo here. No one.
Oh.
Getting focused down. This core Shrek having a bit of trouble staying alive, and meanwhile the duel under the tower nets them to kill an MSS now.
Oh, Lil flew
Chasing
forward.
out Pylite die. Lil gets the fissure, looking for more, but the Urn Charge for MCs comes in and shreds him.
All right, so I think Lil flew forward with the Phoenix dive, and then mid-air of the Phoenix dive, he like reached back and stole fissure from her shaker. That's pretty impressive.
That's a good Rubik game.
They're gonna try and kill the PL here. They got coil, but maybe not enough damage.
Well, no one has that Bloodstone. Ideally doesn't want to be dying right now, but the CK coming in, they might have the damage to turn this around. Very low, Owie sticking around. Pasha trying to back away, but the stun is well placed, timed, and no one engaging forward into this. He gets the kill. He will pay with his life. Meanwhile, Pasha, he's healed back up. Ice Blast, bit off the mark there.
He's manning up, but he just died twice with Bloodstone, so those charges are quickly disappearing.
Oh, Lil. Just being a pest.
血晶是死了2次，有点少。
我感觉这把两边打得非常激烈，火药很重，从那个拉皮克丢牛头不停地丢上去为止。现在10几分钟已经快30个人头了。
Yeah, he's liking the pace of this game. He got pretty much 30 kills at before 20 minutes. I mean, from the cliffing onwards, it's been a pretty action-packed game.
Favorable for VP, right?
Are you looking forward to a similar game tomorrow?
你们明天也会这样打吗？
做好准备了。就这场就打得不是特别像 NP 的那种比赛，就是很像 VP 的比赛。
This just doesn't feel like an NP type of game or an NP style of game. It feels very much like a VP game.
little out of their
But
element.
he says, yeah, he says they'll be ready. They'll be ready tomorrow.
Oh, they're gonna catch out AUI here. Ice Blast connects. They will drop the Phoenix Egg though above this, comboing decently with the Overgrowth. They're gonna get that kill on Lil. Now looking for Solo, swooping into position. Pi dives him out. He's gonna Sunray the other direction. Fada trying to decide who to focus. Wants to go for Ramses, but Ramses so damn fast. I don't know if they're gonna be able to chase him down. Solo. One more hit from Envy will net him to kill, and they do manage to grab Ramses as well.
All right, so big team fight ultimates are now expended by NP.
PL's starting to ramp up a little.
Is that the Treant like cosmetic, or what is that on the PL armor?
It's got the little like things that hop around you.
Is that tree armor?
That's the new Immortal, is it? I think so. We saw it last game.
Pretty wild. Reminds me of like the little Pikmin or something.
Oh, Pikmin? Yeah.
Do you want to talk about?
Vaguely.
Yeah. There's like Olimar and those little Pikmin.
Oh yeah. He's in one of the Smash games.
Yeah, he's
right?
in one of the Smash games.
That's probably how I know him.
Same.
Get your priorities straight, Peter. Meanwhile, no one trapped in the trees here. Is it another death for the Leshrac? It is. That's 3 deaths since getting the Bloodstone.
Here the rest of them come.
And
CK manning up.
More into the chain feed, perhaps? No, Pancho lobs in the stun. He goes deep for this. Suddenly arriving, but the fissure from MSS might be enough to turn it around. Very low. CK hangs on.
A lot of
Coil.
time. Oh, big
2
coil.
hero catch. Pasha trying to fight it out. It's not going to happen. 3 down. Likely to be 4. Yes, sirree. VP getting cleaned up.
哎，你说打的这把不像 NP 的风格，我觉得刚才这几波挺吸酒感的。
对，但是跟他们阵容有关吧，就是最近 NP 打的比较多的是那种带线嘛，然后这一盘就是硬碰硬两边，然后但是这边 NP 就是这几波把猴子和整体经济都打上来了。VP 这边其实如果当核心英雄出到 BKB 以后 ，NP 阵容是很缺乏输出的。
So again, this is kind of a different playstyle from NP, but it's almost like they're meeting VP very head-on in this game. Obviously, a couple tough fights there from VP, but he says for the next step, once you have the BKBs up on the Virtus.pro cores, it's very difficult to deal damage onto them if you're NP.
So chill out, farm your next round of items then. Are they going BKBs though? Has anyone got one? Does Leshrac at least? Oh, Legion does. Might be it. MS, oh, close call there. Will barely make it out. Ramsey's fishing for that duel.
With an A ult, that would have been a kill for sure. It was, yeah, I don't know. Lil was just farming the wave or something, but that Blink Echo Slam from MSS put him down pretty quick.
See a nice blast crash in here on Envy as he pushes those lanes out, but Aoi getting to kind of take over the enemy jungle a little. Drops that deep ward. Hasn't been quite the map control from the tree that we saw from Envy in Manila though.
你怎么看长矛手这个英雄？因为有的队伍用的比较多，有的根本就看不到。然后出装上好像 A 仗也是突然对这个英雄很有利吧，因为他以前就是被改了前几个版本之后，就是他的幻象能力、处理线的能力就没以前那么强。
Trying for LC here.
Oh, Egg layered in, and they're gonna get solo too. 2 for the price of 1. Has perhaps shades of Virtus.pro starting to emerge.
Yeah, I mean, maybe not throw. I'm not sure what their options are at this point. They kind of just need to dodge fights, but it's pretty tough to do against Puck.
And they just keep on going off on their own though, and NP is punishing this. No one split pushing, and Rubik trying to assist him, but at the tower, NP brain 4 has to Bloodstone tonight. What is he down to now? Like 2 charges?
Great guess. He is down to 2 charges.
Yeah, jeez.
这一把长矛手还是看选手和队友吧。然后这一把 NP 除了另外4个队友太强了，然后就把局面都找回来了。然后这个大树给了对方酱油很大的经济压力，这个冰魂一直在要买针眼，然后防止大树来找机会找他们打。然后团战另外4个人的控制加输出都很足。然后其实这个长矛手换任何英雄，这个局面都可以打回来，就是目前为止。
He's saying that the Phantom Lancer could be basically any hero in this situation. He's got to credit EE's teammates for kind of bringing them back into this game and taking some very good fights. The tree, while maybe not having the same impact, does put some economic pressure on Virtus.pro in terms of maybe having sentries or having to keep track of his position a bit more, so he doesn't set up for these easy fights or any kind of harass or pick-offs. And so the supports and basically the other 4 players of NP have done a great job of bringing this game back a little bit in their favor.
Yeah, I mean, Aoi might not have had the early game impact like we saw in Manila, but he's getting his space now. He got those deep boards down, set them up for that fight, so the presence of the tree is being felt more and more as the game moves on.
他可能没有马尼拉那样的骚扰的或者前期对线上的作用，你也可能看他们这种。不过他把一些比较深的眼位都插进去了，也像你说的提供一些压力。
So NP are going to smoke up here. I've got the Enchant Totem prepped. Can they take yet another team fight over VP? This one might be a little tougher. Lil able to steal that orb. Gets up to the safety of high ground. He is under a tree ward right now. Now he's going to move it deeper, trying to set things up here. Getting in position, looking for the overgrowth. Lil jumps in, and that's when NP look to spring their trap. They blink over the fissure. Lil caught out, will end up going down. Pasha, though, is engaging, and he's got off the Phantasm. Trying to deal with that egg. Pylite Die manages to crack it open, and now trying to survive through round 2, but VP slaughter.
So what went wrong in that fight? Envy just got demolished by CK? Or
They didn't get the echo off either.
yeah, so the Shaker jumped in to follow up on the Rubik, who was kind of out of position, got fissured, and then Shaker jumped in, finished him off with the Enchant Totem. But then Ramses immediately jumped the Shaker with the Blade Mail, and MSS did manage to get clipped barely by the AA ult. I guess Pasha got him in a stun on the PL and just like Phantasm and bursted him with all of his illusions.
分析一下那一波团吧，他们好像就是激活都记在拉比克身上，然后后来就没办法来团控，然后呢 CK 秒了2个人。
主要是这边VP 他们整体阵容的走位比较好吧，然后这个牛头也被秒了，然后这边又打起来了。
Oh, they get a big pick here on Fada. Another dual wand for Ramses, up to plus 62 damage. Free Sacred Relic for him.
Yeah, Ramsey's getting pretty close to his BKB now, which is a major item against NP, like Yao was saying. CK actually opted to go for the Manta first instead of the BKB, which he's getting next, but the Manta allows him to escape that tree root and lets him hit the egg, which they really I don't think they've killed a single egg yet this game.
That's going to change with the BKB, though.
I think so. Or they could even just ignore it and just continue to fight and not really worry about it so much. It's just like NP's got this really teamfight-based lineup where the Phoenix goes in, uses his egg after Puck coils him and keeps him around, and then if they ever try to go for that egg, Treant pops in and roots them, or Earthshaker jumps in and echo slams or fissures them and disrupts their ability to attack. So
VP being sneaky here.
他说 CK 有那个分身符可以帮他来打那个凤凰蛋，可是他们有 BKB 或什么之后也可以选择不去打那个蛋，因为他们非要打那个蛋的话，就是那个反手能力，就反手的技能全都放上来了，所以他们也可能选择不去打而杀别的人。
接下来一波的话，就是这个大树也新做出跳刀了，然后这样子的话就可以形成一个 Park 提前留人，然后凤凰直接就是变脸蛋，然后你想回头打蛋的话，大树的大招可以护住那个蛋，然后你开分身符，你没有 BKB 的话，牛头还是可以继续控你。然后就是 VP 这边的话，还是要注意整体走位，不能走位太集中，被 Park 控到太多人。
Well, they find Aoi here, but looking to start this fight is actually Fada, who got up the coil. The egg comes through. No one not able to hit this too often throughout the fight. They're going to turn back for it now, though. And he barely gets it off. Jumping away. Still, they've lost 2. They've only gotten an AA. They have to fissure, retreat. VP just able to brute force their way through NP. And NP's still not really able to contribute too much in these fights.
And right before that fight, Yao was talking about with the pickup of the blink on the tree. Now, like the key becomes Puck. If Puck can start the fight and keep a bunch of people in position with the Dream Coil, and then the Phoenix comes directly in afterwards, then you really have to be careful without that BKB because whoever gets left there, it's basically no way to fight back. You can't go for the egg without BKB, especially exposes you to more control from the Earthshaker as well. But NP were missing 2 people in that fight, so they weren't able to commit to it fully.
刚才2波团的话，就是中路一波和刚才下路野区一波，一波中路是牛头被秒了，然后还一波下路就是牛头没有到场，所以这2波 NP 的开团，他们的开船时机和自己的走位就是感觉没做好。
There were issues. There was issues in both of those fights just now that NP lost. In the first battle in the mid lane, the Earthshaker, I believe he went after the root, but just got picked off and died. Wasn't able to come back into the main fight. And in the other fight that happened in the jungle, the Earthshaker obviously wasn't present, so he wasn't able to follow up with any control with his teammates. And NP obviously, with those mistakes, ended up losing both those fights.
Yeah, do you feel like this game is slipping away from NP's control? Like we talked about NP really having perhaps like better team fight. Is there a point where this PL really kind of carries his team?
你觉得那现在局势中 NP 是不是你有没有感觉有点走远了，或者你觉得长矛手有可能在带动队友，就是在后期获胜吗？
就 NP 这个阵容太缺乏物理输出了，然后基本上他们的所有输出都是在魔法上面。然后长矛手这个英雄即使出到神装，然后他的物理爆发能力也就是不是很足的。然后对这边像 VP， 如果他们3大哥拥有 BKB 以后，然后因为对方的输出能力、爆发能力就是比较有限，所以很难逼迫他们走位出现很大的失误，然后被对方打成完美团。然后相反的话，这边VP 从始至终他的阵容有那个 TS 能够处理猴子的幻象，所以就是感觉 NP 就会非常难打，要抓这种小机会。
Good pick here.
From Yao's perspective, they definitely need more of those. NP's lineup really lacks physical damage and especially physical burst. It's basically very combo-y and a lot of magical damage, and so especially with the Leshrac later on in the AoE, and the Phantom Lancer, even under conditions with a lot of control, doesn't provide any real burst damage. Kind of has to fight for a while for things to happen. So once the BKBs are up for the Virtus.pro cores, it feels like it's going to be very difficult to kill them or threaten them sufficiently to where you have the environment to control things or hit your big AoE spells, just because there isn't any physical burst.
Gotcha.
VP posting up here. They want to take this tier 2.
VP 已经2个 BKB 了。
2 BKBs up for VP.
And the 3rd on the way for no one. At which point he becomes a lot more difficult to bring down. They've been able to combo him in a lot of these fights.
Yeah, he's been a nice, almost like sponge for NP's magical damage in fights.
Suddenly he's a very tough and resilient sponge. VP are going to go for the push though. Phantasm, this will chew through the tower. NP will need to nuke these illusions down as quickly as possible. They're going to prep things out with the Veil, go to work with the Sunray. Puck has to jump in. Pretty good tools to deal with those illusions though.
Ooh, CK was getting murdered.
Yeah, Sunray, pretty strong.
Sunray plus Veil. And all that other magic damage coming through.
Still though, VP do take the tier 2. They start to limit NP's outer map control.
Yeah, they lost the Aegis immediately, otherwise they might have been a little bit more confident in the high ground push. Ending the game versus NP will be really tough just because their team fight is so strong. But maybe with another Aegis and a finished BKB on Leshrac, they could look to potentially take a tier 3 tower if they find a pick.
就是打 NP 上高地比较困难，当然他们的英雄和团战手高能力是比较强，就是没有可能要等下一个盾才有更良好的机会，也可能要先杀一个人。
这边也是在出 A 仗，然后 A 仗猴子的话，一个 T 就可以带一波兵线，然后就是能够很好的将比赛往后顺延吧，因为他就是用那个 A 仗猴子去带线，然后这边牛头也出到引刀，然后配合大树的隐身，然后这边 VP 的话可能需要抱得比较紧，然后如果 NP 能够抓到 VP 落单的机会，一点一点把劣势打回来的话，还有机会。
So I mentioned before, like even with a full 6-slotted, the Phantom Lancer still doesn't have that much burst, but with the Aghanims coming up next, it's going to be able to clear creep waves very quickly, and then obviously when you have the Shadow Blade coming out with the Earthshaker as well, you've got two kind of invis heroes that both have pretty good initiation. So if they can find these kind of spare pickoffs and start to bring back the disadvantage a little bit, that's NP's way back into the game.
Ramses tries to get into this fight. The Echo's on 2, pretty decent by MSS. He will get locked down though. Turned on by the CK, rapidly beaten into submission. They get the dual damage. Now Envy showed up to the fight, doesn't want to engage into that BKB, tries to retreat out as no one looks for the Yule Scepter opening. Stun comes through. Envy not able to doppelganger out of this one, at least not yet. Extremely low, rushes to the right, trying desperately to escape. Those illusions get shredded by the Leshrac, just instantly dropping. Now jumping forward again, living armor chewed through. Envy down, cannot man fight against these cores.
Thought it did his very best job trying to save Envy there, passed him the Lincoln Sphere of his own and blocked that CK stun. But it wasn't enough. NP really, I think they overcommitted for that first kill onto Rubik. Not only they coiled him, and then they also dropped the egg in the back. And then the Treant ult was
They even echoed him, yeah.
Yeah, the Treant ult was used to almost try and save Shaker from a duel that was already lost. So I'd say like two of the two support heroes from NP really almost like wasted their ultimates. Even Puck to some extent with the Dream Coil. That being said, Lil was super quick on his blink there. You know, he baited them in far enough so that they committed, but was still able to jump a little bit of ways that they ended up overcommitting in the end.
那一波就是拉比克吸收了好几个技能，就是牛头大，都好像放了他的大树大，也是后来用来就是逃跑，就是没有输出环境也根本就无法打，就是这一波拉比克好像挺关键的。后来用那个跳刀也及时的，就是让他们追的比较深入。
我觉得刚才这种开团的位置，依旧应该继续带线，然后打自己经济吧。然后他其实刚才过来，其实他在战场其实也没有什么用。然后如果队友就是能够对对方形成击杀，然后打一些把经济差拉回来的话，还能打一下。然后现在军团做到引刀，然后如果这边 VP 再起一个宝石，让牛头和大树在外面换界找机会的时候被 VP 抓了几波的话，那样子 NP 就基本上毫无胜算了。
It feels like in a situation like the previous pickoff that the Phantom Lancer should not have been there in the first place. He should be off pushing or dealing with creep wave somewhere because his presence didn't have anything to do with the actual result of the pickoff. Ended up being killed off, and then once Virtus.pro picks up a gem, that'll go a long ways towards countering the invis initiation and pickoff that NP might be looking for. And once that happens, there's going to be very little chance left in the game for NP.
We've entered Eternal Envy ratting strategies. He's now burrowing himself into the trees, looking to intercept the next creep wave as Virtus.pro lines up to push the bottom lane.
I mean, but I think to Yao's point, you know, doesn't feel like there's kind of a long-term strategy to this, really. Illusions are not particularly good at split pushing, you know, like back in the day.
They're definitely not. No, it's through team fight, and PL really hasn't offered anything. Yao was saying this hero could have been anything, and NP would have had that similar early game success that they had. Maybe PL as that last pick really just wasn't the impact hero that they needed.
Well, NP on the ropes here in the summit is VP getting into the high ground. They are fishing for an initiation, though. Ramses still on cooldown for a bit. Is forced to back away. Pasha engaging. The PL illusions hounding no one. They get a timely root here through the BKB, locking him in position. Try to set up for MSS, who's got the Echo. VP have to be careful. Mojo jumps in. He will get lifted, potentially turned on the Rubik, only stealing the enchant totem though. And Ramses on the run now. Good high ground defense by NP as they bait out those BKBs. They bide their time. They force the Bloodstone deny. They get the AA kill. They look for more though. Pasha is an absolute whale to bring down here. They're going to slowly chip, prod at him, hound him, purge him. Eventually he should drop. This is going to be 3 down for VP. It certainly looks like. It takes about an hour, but they get the job done. They hold the base for now. Don't sleep on that NP high ground defense.
毒奶了一口啊！
不是
这就不爽。
就像PPD 所说的，然后就是 NP 这种对高地的防守还是很强的。然后这波 VP 其实他做到了一个引刀，如果他起宝石，其实猴子在外面的发育空间会被压制，然后他等下一个盾或者是继续压制，然后再找机会抓人上高会比较理智。这样子就是直接上高，然后对方还有买活，然后还是被打了一波很漂亮的 combo。
As he said, as Peter said, high ground defense and all that, still pretty good from NP, and it seems they really need a gem to be able to threaten the rest of NP's heroes from freely being out on the map. That allows them to threaten the Phantom Lancer as well and just feel unsafe, and then they need a bit more of an advantage, maybe another Roche or something, instead of kind of just forcing onto high with the buybacks all available from NP.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. The gem would be super helpful for them. Always been a menace on the map, boarding constantly behind enemy lines and kind of figuring out where VP is before they encounter their teammates who are trying to split push as much as they can. It seemed like in that last team fight in the base, though, there's like a little bit of miscommunication. Like Ramsey kind of jumped in and found himself in a really bad spot, or maybe PL.
I think the duel was actually still on cooldown when he jumped in too.
Oh wow!
It looked like it was like 10 seconds.
He was kind of in there. He started blade mail, then he BKB'd, and then his team tried to save him, tried to back him up, and they just got too far in. Pasha was just comfortable. Hey, I'm just gonna hit the tower, you know?
Yeah. Not on the same page. I mean, hey, maybe the role swap, you know?
Yeah, maybe.
Potentially something to do with that. Ramsey's used to being that tower hitter.
Seems like they're just having fun with it, and from what I know and from what I've seen from Ramses, he's a pretty fun-loving guy. So maybe he's just like,
he's a smiler.
I'm gonna go in, guys. You know, maybe it works out, maybe it doesn't, but I'm going in.
Either way, something's gonna happen. Shake this game up, you know.
He wants to fight. Fighting is fun in Dota. You know, the farm games really they're not.
This is a fighting patch.
Exactly. Farming and split pushing it's great and it's satisfying to some extent, but winning a team fight and battling is where true Dota is played.
Jackie Mao is trapped in a 2015 mindset, perhaps.
Well,
some would argue.
他就说刚才那个 Ramsey 跳进去可能有点击中他，好像那个大招的 CD 都没有。然后他们说他比较随意，比较玩得开，也喜欢去打团。然后 PP 就说游戏中的乐趣就在打团了，肯定不是在带球那种，肯定是赢了团战最爽。
但是这盘其实 NP 要赢就是要靠他们 NP 带球的方式才好赢。然后现在这边 VP。像刚才 NP 他们赢也是在高地打团战，然后把那个 TS 先杀掉以后，这个时候猴子的发挥空间才出来。然后现在 TS 拿了一个盾，然后猴子的方向就是会被就是不能够做到先击杀 TS， 然后猴子在团战中的发挥还是会很小。
Peter, he agrees with what you said about the whole wanting to fight and stuff and that being satisfying. But for MP to win this game, he feels the formula is more towards the split push that they favored. They kind of have to get these pickoffs, and especially for this next fight. In the last fight, they managed to kill the Leshrac fairly early on, and that lost a lot of the AoE for dealing with the PL illusions. And this time he's got the Aegis, so he's pretty much, it's much harder to keep him out of the fight and be able to clear those PL illusions away.
You can just see them constantly hunting for this tree in the trees.
不过好消息是这边 VP 一直没起爆，是下方 NP 起了。
Big trouble.
Team is streaming and to try and assist. I think they wanted to just freely get this Aegis. No one is the real prize. Maybe at least force that BKB out, but the counter initiation comes through. Duel is there. Solo goes down to Fada, but Fada in turn will lose his own life. They lift that Phoenix up, chuck him back down into a stun. All the BKBs committed here. VP cleaning up the puck and the Phoenix both have buyback.
Are you gonna try and save the gem? Yep, he is. Got it.
What a player.
So I have I think a decently interesting question for Yao. Eternal Envy, no doubt, and kind of what LD was saying earlier. Eternal Envy kind of has its own playstyle, where it's this sort of like split push, kind of cute, little funsy,
finesse
kind of Dota, which we all love to watch, but it hasn't necessarily gotten the best results. Do you think that Envy needs to potentially change his playstyle, or should he just continue to refine his playstyle and have his teammates play around him?
说回了我们先看这波团 Look at this fight first.
Oh, big Echo Slam initiation on to Pasha. Pasha forced to back away, no BKB. Coil dropped as Lil hangs on. Just have that very cute stolen Chant Totem earlier, now with the fissure, and he gets the egg. It's the Dream Rubik game.
Ag's egg.
This is going to be extremely difficult for NP. Yeah, VP already taking one lane, looking for more. Fada desperately trying to hang on as NP fight. Not only for their Summit lives, but perhaps a TI invite slipping through their grasp.
他刚才想问你的是，就是艺术家自己打法当然很独特，也好像很偏向这种，比如说带球之类的。你觉得他是该必须做一些调整，就是更适合别的打法，还是继续以这个长处把它发展成更大的优势和长处，就是继续往这个方向去成长？这是现在的风格。
我觉得。看就是他的阵容总会有一个强势期和劣势期吧，然后他的阵容，我觉得带球的话是用来，把对方的强势期拖过去，然后或者是迎来自己的下一波强势期，然后当他抓到自己阵容比对方 强的时候，就要去找机会跟对方开团，而不是一味的一直在无脑的带团，带球，那样子是没有意义的。打真正的强队，一直无脑的带球是我觉得意义不大的，还是最后是要把握住局势，抓机会去对方开一波正面团，或者是这样。
He feels like in terms of some of the, as we see another fight breaking out here. Well, let's get this fight, I guess.
VP pushing through. No one though is dropping low to this. The Yule sets things up. Sunray coming as well. Another Yules. They really want to kill him off, but the egg restores him right back to full. Round 2. It's looking ugly here for NP. Perhaps their last gasp in the summit. No one chewing through the defenses, mowing down the range now. The melee next. Fada trying desperately to clear out these illusions.
CK playing it pretty smart, knowing that NP definitely has enough AoE to kill him.
And he's being patient about this, and now the BKBs, they're just going to go straight for the Rex. Swat it down, ignore the heroes, that's the prize. VP, make it 2 lanes. NP need a big fight now, probably a wipe to turn things around as Pylai gets off a good egg. The combo's there. Echo Slam committed, it hits on 2, but no one just squirms away to the north. Pasha to the south. They're going to sacrifice the CK, the Legion out of there.
Perfect Midas usage right there. Saw himself dying, got the Midas on the catapult. That's value right there.
It's Megas.
Choji being low.
So sorry, what was he saying before the fight broke out?
Oh, you're saying that he may prefer that style of split pushing and such, but he's got to find like usually you would split push to help make it past the opponent's strong point in the game, like maybe when they're the strongest, or give you a chance to reach your timing a little bit better and get past the opponent's timing. It's not just for the purpose of split pushing. So maybe in terms of knowing when you should be fighting or when that split pushing comes in to give your team an edge is something that can be worked on.
So like the fight selection more so than the overall drafting and like strategic approach?
Yeah, not just for the purpose of split pushing, but in prolonging the game to the point where you have the advantage and you want to be taking the fights.
Gotcha. Well, it's not looking great for NP, to put it mildly. All the lanes caved in.
Yeah, it's looking like VP's probably going to take this, and VP's going to be matched up tomorrow up against LGD. Yeah, what kind of heroes and strategy are you going to use tomorrow against VP?
It's okay, they're not going to be listening anyway.
Chinese, they can understand.
Yeah. Until Jack translates.
I don't know.
Doesn't know. The captain doesn't know.
Well, he doesn't know what they're going to pick. They've got you know, heroes 46 through 50.
But I can show no tree and Phoenix.
No tree and Phoenix.
Yeah.
Oh, insider information
right.
coming through from Yao. Confident enough, cocky enough.
Cocky.
To tell his opponents what he doesn't care about.
很自信，公开的跟他说不在乎大树和凤凰，很自信。
That's high praise coming for you, Peter.
因为这两个英雄帮助中路的能力太弱了。
Oh, because these two heroes are not as good at helping the mid lane.
Tomorrow maybe no one, so mid lane. Yeah.
So bad draft is what we're gonna say. MP, huh?
This is
He's hyping the maybe no one showdown tomorrow. There's gonna be help probably on both sides, but about a 2-on-2 mids. But
yeah, should be absolutely fantastic. NP, they'll be watching from the sidelines unless they can take this fight. Desperate echo from MSS. The BKB shrug it off. Apogey's dying. Buybacks aplenty. Rubik stealing the egg again. It looks like Lil just doing as he pleases. He'll jump in, turn the fight even further. Now Pasha on Aoi brings him down too. Resetting the fight once more. A full HP, full mana. Leshrak out for blood. Disco Pony having a party all over NP's graves. And it looks like this one is in the bag for Virtus.pro.
Are you gonna ask VP for an interview? Because I'm done with them at this point.
You're done with them?
I'm tired of them. Every time I ask them for an interview, they just blow me off.
They blow you off? Maybe
Yeah.
Al can ask them for an interview. They respect him more.
赛后采访 PPT 开玩笑，
I don't want to turn Yao. I don't want to turn Yao into a solicitor.
说他们一直不理他。那么赛后采访，你想问 VP 一些问题吗？
Yeah, this is a great time to interrogate them about their strategies, you know?
你也可以问他们明天的套路。
住。
Yeah, let's get like a pre-fight trash talk session here on the couch. Pull up the fists.
Oh yeah, get Puppy in here to
小王拉一个 VP 下来，然后你
evaluate their form.
赛后采访问他一些。
He's down.
Yeah, that's an okay. That's an okay.
It's like sure.
Give a little trash talk. He'll say something.
So with that, NP are eliminated from the summit. They will finish 4th. VP, top 3, facing off against LGD. Winner of that will take on the big dog Secret, heading into the final day.
They're so happy and smiling.
Yeah, now VP can continue their libations.
It's amazing how you can win a match of Dota and feel like king of the world, and then when you lose, you just feel like you just question what you're doing with your life.
Your entire life.
It's just like
all the people you're surrounded with, your food.
Everything I've been doing up to this point hasn't really been worth it.
Ah, here we go.
Interview, guys.
Lil, we want to hear your thoughts on the match tomorrow. We have your opponent.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, we want to have a little pre-match chat, if you don't mind.
刚才 PPT 说，就是赢的时候感觉好兴奋、很爽，然后输的时候感觉好低迷。这个游戏就是这样的，高峰和低谷就是这样。
So how are you guys feeling?
That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you happy with your performance today?
Yeah, that was fine. We throw the game, one versus DC, but now it's fine.
I don't think you guys have picked the same hero twice at this tournament. Is that deliberate or is that just a coincidence?
Yeah, that's a kind of challenge.
Okay, so we won't see any of the same heroes tomorrow.
I think yes.
Okay.
就是说他们好像这次比赛没有重叠过英雄，然后刚才 LD 问他是不是就是明天也是这样，不会再重叠。他说是给自己的挑战，不会重叠英雄。
可以，那我能怎么说？
随便了，随便你跟他聊。
那我只能说我们明天见啊。然后确实，那这样子赛前的一些研究都没有用，因为他们对我们来说就是星辰与大海，什么英雄都有可能。
So he's saying, we'll see you tomorrow, and obviously all pre-match preparations will be useless because no one has any idea what you're gonna pick. The whole ocean is available, of heroes. So yeah. We'll see you tomorrow.
Any words for your opponents, Lil?
No.
No.
All
right. Let the Dota do the talking.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on the win. Good luck tomorrow, both of you gentlemen, and thanks so much for joining us. That's going to wrap it up, guys. It'll be Virtus.pro taking on LGD. Winner of that match will face Secret in the Grand Finals. This is the Summit 7. I believe we're coming back for some sort of post-match festivities. But for now, congratulations to VP, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.